one heartwarming scheme helping to save people money while also helping to combat loneliness.
Yeah, it's a special type of home sharing where strangers from different generations move in together, and the lodger offers their company and sometimes cooking in exchange for a roof over their head.
Sharing the burden is a great way to save some cash in a cost of living crisis. It's fairly common amongst students, young professionals or multi-generational families, everyone benefiting from being under one roof. But what's less conventional is different generations of strangers living together.
We've been sharing, I would say, 1 year.
80-year-old Sheila has lived in Bournemouth for over 30 years, but in February 2021, her husband died, and the house started feeling too big for just her and Muffin, the cat.
I was lonely and I needed someone to talk to. My family live in Berkshire, and yes, they're lovely and I could stay with them, but I've got used to Bournemouth.
Sheila contacted a social enterprise called Two Generations, which matches older people with younger home sharers. They introduced her to Deela, who's in her 30s, and moved in with Sheila in February last year.
I've lived in London all my life. I work in health and social care, and I decided to up sticks and move to the south. And I was looking at rentals where it'd be 6 bed with not much space, but also other people that are in and out. And I knew I'd be lonely. The advert popped up and I thought, this makes a lot of sense. It was the setup of having a home, being able to have the evening and dinners with somebody and having that company, but also having my space and being able to do what I need to do during the day.
Under their home sharing agreement, Deela gives Sheila at least 10 hours a week of companionship and help around the home, in return for a room.
The arrangement was that Deela cooks for me because I needed a shoulder replacement. I've had the shoulder replacement and Deela still cooks for me.
Both social butterflies as well. So if we're going to be home, yesterday Sheila was out, she went out for dinner and I was at home. So it is a house share.
It's on my diary though, what time she's coming home. And if she's late, well.
Bit of trouble there, I'm afraid. We share a similar sense of humour.
Well, we're joking with each other, you know, and we think, now, did she mean that or is she joking? And she's always joking. What else do we do together?
We watch a lot of telly.
Together?
We watch quizzes together and we compete to get the answers right. We're very competitive.
Oh, yes. And whatever I do with my family, Deela's invited, always. If Deela wasn't living here, I don't know what I'd do. It's my home.
And it's become my home.
The campaign to end loneliness estimates that around 26 million people in the UK feel lonely. Occasionally, sometimes, often, or always. Having company is just one of the benefits of sharing your home. But it's far from the only one. Greta Prescott is 92 and lived on her own in Bournemouth for 25 years. Then, a couple of years ago, a nasty fall made her reassess.
I realised that it was going to be a solution for me because I certainly didn't want to go into an old people's home. I think I would have wrecked the joint.
Rick, himself retired, moved to the area from Chichester nearly 3 years ago.
I was looking for a place to rent, and I saw this advert and I thought, no, that can't be right. It's about 40% of the cost of rental. So I jumped at the chance. We've made our own arrangements where the duties are not just shared, but I've taken over quite a few of the duties, which Greta's happy with. So
I'm just a spoilt brat.
we've got arrangements like that. It's wonderful. I can't believe why it's only catching on now.
The first night I went to bed, I thought, this is it. This is going to work.
But I think that's the security of having somebody here at home in case something happens.
Both being love the garden and sport, we've got a lot in common.
You become pragmatic about living together and not interfering in each other's spaces. If we don't resolve it before it becomes a problem, then it's going to become a problem. Greta asked me to not close the toilet lid when I finished. She'd rather have the lid up because she goes to the bathroom at night. she backs it. And so I said, okay, and I've always got into trouble for leaving the lid up. So,
Incidentally, you did it the other day. I
Oh.
didn't tell you.
there you go.
If Rick wasn't here, I really don't know, because I don't think I could afford to go and live in a home.
I've got a home that I can take great pride in, where on rented accommodation I wouldn't be able to do that.
So it is a win-win situation.
Yeah.
While this seems like a match made in heaven, the organisation that goes into these setups is absolutely crucial. And of course, there are serious welfare and safeguarding considerations too. Sam Brandman runs the organisation which set up Rick and Greta, which is called Two Generations.
We have a wide variety of sharers who apply, and ultimately whether they're suitable or not will depend on the homes they're moving into. We would rather not have a match than have a bad match. We take the view that ultimately we are never going to pressure anyone into a home share. It's very much about, is there a fit? Do the parties feel safe with each other? And if not, we won't go ahead.
In England and Wales right now, it's estimated that there are 17 million homes with more bedrooms than they need. This scheme won't be for everyone, but if you did have the space and wanted some company, you might not just feel less alone, but also give someone a home.
I love that.
I absolutely love that. Do you know what I love the most about that, though, is how seriously they take the vetting process. Because these are vulnerable people that are having somebody move into their homes. So the fact that they do it so carefully really, really makes me happy.
From a safety point of view, but also a social point of view, to make sure they get on, they're going to get on together. So
Yeah.
really, really good. And I also love the fact that Sheila and Deela were watching Morning Live there. I love that.
I think it was you, wasn't it?
It was me.
It was in the screen.
So
Yeah.
I doubly love that.
Yeah.
Still to come in 15 minutes.